Hey everyone, we're back with another What Sold. This is going to be 4 days of sales on my eBay store. For those of you who might be new, my name's Cameron or Cam, whatever you want to call me. Flashbacks Finds is my channel. I sell part-time on eBay. I have a 9-to-5 job, but this is what I do on the side to make a little extra money for rainy days, for just fun, going on vacation, things like that, as well as we're saving for a house and whatever else might come up. It's been a beautiful opportunity for me and my family. My wife actually is a stay-at-home mom, so having this along with my 9-to-5 job kind of allows that to balance out, and she can be there for the boys. So it definitely is very awesome, and hopefully in me showing you guys what sold, you might be able to incorporate some of these things into your business or learn from the mistakes that I make, because even though I've been doing this for, I don't know, 7 or 8 years now, I still make mistakes all the time. So let's get into it. I do show everything, but let's not waste too much time. First off, we have a Colin Kaepernick jersey. This is a size youth small, sold for $15.99 or something like that on sale. I was selling Colin Kaepernick jerseys a couple years ago for about 40 plus, as long as they were adults. The kids were a little bit less. I've sold through all the adult ones that I have. I am in Southern California, so there is a lot of 49er stuff here. Even though they're up in San Francisco, there's still a lot of 49er stuff that makes its way down. So they were selling really well, but they've kind of slowed down, at least on the youth side. I think the adult ones still might sell. We got $15.99 on that. We also have a Creature from the Black Lagoon VHS. I got a bunch of oddball VHS, and if you sell VHS, what you're really looking for is kind of that oddball sci-fi horror genre. Those seem to be the ones that have the best value, the better chance of having value. It's still like 99.9% of VHS are worth nothing. But if you can find some good ones, like this one, it wasn't great, but it still sold for $10 for a used VHS. I've sold them as high as like 50 or 60 bucks for a used VHS, and there are some that go towards 100, maybe plus that. So you just gotta be careful, but there are some if you know what you're looking for. Here's some Animorphs books. This is not really the greatest sale, and if you look at the picture, if you guys can tell, there's a lot of wear on the spines of these books. This book set, though, doesn't really sell that well for me. Every time I get a bunch of them, they don't sell as much as I think they would. This one sold for $16.99, free shipping, media mail. I think I had like a couple bucks in these, so I made a little bit of money, but I really wouldn't buy that lot again. I would buy them if they were in great shape, but that was just really too poor of a condition to waste your time with. High school yearbooks, I still sell these. I've heard a lot of resellers saying they're not wasting their time, they take forever. The ones in Southern California, man, they sell. This is a San Pedro High 1995 yearbook, so relatively newer. This one ended up selling for $40 on a best offer. I usually list them for 50 or 60 bucks, unless I know someone that's very unique or some, like a famous person might be in there. Those ones I might keep. But if it's someone, if I have no reason to believe someone's in there, I usually list them for 50 or 60, and I'm looking for offers above $25. If I get a $25 offer, I'm usually taking it just to get rid of it. I don't pay more than a couple bucks either for the yearbook. So, but 40 bucks on this one, which was a really fair offer. Here's a Victoria's Secret body fragrance mist called Beach Babe or something like that. I don't know, Beach something. You'll see it on there. This one sold for 40 shipped. It's from the My Pet Monster buy, which I got from one of my sources. He buys units, and a lot of times he kind of gives me first dibs on stuff. It's a wonderful situation for me. For him, it usually allows for a quick turnover on stuff. He's really a quick nickel type of person, so he wants to buy stuff and move on to the next one. So it really works out for me. He was gonna throw this away, and I saw it in the bottom of a box. He thought I wouldn't want it. He was gonna garage sell, I should say, not throw it away. But I threw it in my pile and ended up selling for 40 bucks on the best offer. So a lot of times fragrance, perfumes, and stuff can be valuable. I'm still learning that, especially the vintage stuff. But I looked this one up and it ended up being pretty good. Windows 7. This is the professional one. The ones you want to find are the professional ones. The student stuff can sell, like for Microsoft Office, the student one still will sell, but really you want the professional because that's like the full retail one. This one sold with the upgrade for 48 shipped. I paid $5 for it. I've had some people be afraid to sell these. Usually, if it's like the student one, it only gets a couple of uses. So maybe 1, 2, 3 uses, and then it's no good. Or at least it can be installed on like 3 computers. I believe the professional is the retail one where there's not an issue with that. You do want to have the product key, and you do not want to probably show the product key to the whole world in the listing, but you want to make sure it's present with the discs. And this one sold for 48 shipped, and I think the lady was buying it to fix one of her old computers or something like that. Some Ultimate Attitude roller skate frames. So these were really cool looking frames. Obviously they have kind of the American flag in there, and it says Attitude on the side. They're older for sure. The little shoe parts are like really weird. No brand on them, but they're just on there. I ended up selling them as is for parts for 45 shipped. I thought someone might recognize the frames and want them, and that's exactly what the person did. They bought them just for the frames, took a best offer of 45 shipped. These things were heavy, but they went FedEx for like 16 bucks, and I had them in a big buy from Storage Unit Guy, so I was happy about that. Granted, we only sold them for 45, so it leaves with like 29 less fees and everything like that, but that's still a pretty good deal for something that I probably, you know, other people weren't going to buy, will probably not waste your time with, but I may have made 20 bucks on that, maybe a little bit less, but a pretty good deal for some old skate frames. Probably would have been a little better to actually pull off the shoes. Probably could have saved a little bit on shipping. Danzig, How the Gods Kill cassette. Don't know anything about this, but this is from the Rock and Roll buy. This one sold for 14 shipped, and it sold very quickly. I want to say within a couple of days. This is also from the Rock and Roll buy. For those of you who don't know about the Rock and Roll buy, I bought a bunch of CDs, DVDs, books, tour shirts, and vintage other random shirts, along with some guitar pedals and other things like that from the guy that I bought the Victoria's Secret stuff from. He had bought a storage unit. I ended up spending about $735 or something like that dollars on everything he bought, and he actually had a bunch of other stuff he sold from there. I basically bought all the media and the guitar pedals, like I mentioned. The guy who owned it was in a band in LA somewhere. Not too famous of a person, but I guess he collected a lot of very cool stuff. So this was from there. This Stars Coliseum Rock took a best offer of 25 shipped on this used CD. Very happy. I've already sold over $3,000 and stuff from the Rock and Roll, and we had a listing total of like 7,000 initially, and we've already listed more from there, so it's been very nice. Here's a Halo 3 armor pack. This is the White Hayabusa, the Rogue Scout Spartan. This one sold for 136 shipped. It was hard to find. Halo stuff does well. They make a lot of Halo Mega Blocks, which also sell. These are from the $1,600 Lego and toy buy that I had been selling toys for probably the past year from this. This guy bought it, got it, and then he left me a neutral feedback and said that one of the figure's arms broke when he was playing with it out of the box within a couple of hours. So the feedback really wasn't an issue with me because the item was brand new. It was an issue with the toy, I guess. But of course, it doesn't look too great on mine. But he didn't ask for a return, so that was good for me. 136 bucks. I thought for sure whoever bought that and paid that much would just leave it in the box, but obviously I was mistaken. Star Wars Stitch and Goofy. This is like a little kind of Stitch and Goofy are dressed up as Star Wars characters. I don't know where I got this from. Probably Storage Unit Guy on one of the buys. Took a best offer of $33.50. Has some damage to the box in it, but it did ship out first class because it was pretty light. This one was awesome. Coca-Cola Christmas tree topper. It's a polar bear with holding like a little Coca-Cola star. I spent 200 bucks at Storage Unit Guy. He had all this Coke stuff, a bunch of like Jim Beam liquor stuff, and he had some NFL collectibles and a few other things. I ended up filling this whole tub up for 200 bucks and sold just this one piece out of there for 125, and I've already sold a 45 and a couple of other things out of there. So we've almost made all of our money back. The NFL stuff hasn't sold as quickly as I thought. But the thing I sold for 45, I have 6 of them. So if they all sell, it'll be really great. But I got 125 on this Coca-Cola tree topper. And look out for vintage tree toppers. Some of them go for crazy money. I might want to do some research. You can look up there. Even some that, you might get 40 or 50 bucks. And if you're at a garage sale or an estate sale and they only want $5, you might be worth picking up. But this one was unique. There really was another one like it. I listed it for 150. Someone in Texas offered 125. I'm in California, so the shipping's not too bad. Took a best offer. It did get lost for a couple days in shipping, and I was worried. Did have insurance on it because it went priority mail for like 13 bucks or something like that. But the good news was it did arrive. Never heard back, but it worked and everything, and it was very cool. These NFL Street balls do really well. They're from a PlayStation and Xbox game called NFL Street. I don't know if it's on GameCube, but these are like the little footballs you can play with. This one was $1 at a garage sale. It didn't have any air in it, so I wasn't sure if it had a hole or anything, but I pumped it up. It worked well, and it sold for 35 shipped on a best offer. There's different color ones, but it's definitely a small little bolo. It's not worth a ton, but it's something that a lot of people will probably pass up. Gangsta Pat #1 Suspect cassette. This is from the big hip hop cassette buy. We're still selling cassettes. I still sell them. A couple days ago I sold some more. These sales are from about a month ago, so obviously that's why I'm saying we still sell them. They just keep moving. We probably have 30 or 40 left, and we're just slowly getting through them. But 18 bucks on this. Hip hop and rap stuff, vintage stuff seems to be my favorite type of cassettes, magazines, CDs to sell. They seem to be really consistent. Here's another thing from the Rock and Roll Buy. This is Chips 99. It's a VHS. It sold for 9 shipped. Not a whole lot, but for me, I've told you guys, if it's a media item and it's going to sell for 8 or more, and it seems like it has a good chance of selling within a month or two, I will list it. This one took about 3 months, but it sold for $9. Again, it costs $2.80 to ship it. You end up making $3 or $4. Pretty easy sale. Some more perfume. This is from a storage unit guy I buy. It was like a little Victoria's Secret. I don't know if it was like a gift case or a travel, whatever it was, but like this little case and it had these little tiny perfumes in there. Like, I guess it was 0.25 ounces or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, that's what it says here, perfume. There's like Dream Angels, and there was like different scents or whatever, like little test ones or whatever. And there was some other brand styles or fragrances or whatever from there. But these ones that were the Dream Angels sold really well. This one sold for full price $50. It did have like a little bit less in there, so I put 10% used, which is a high estimate, but it wasn't as full as the other one, so I assume someone at least sprayed a little bit. But pretty good deal there, 50 shipped on a little tiny perfume. Happy with that. Here's a Ford manual. It's a 1979 light truck manual. You guys know that if you've been watching, I bought manuals. I encourage people to buy manuals, especially OEM stuff. Not everything's worth money, but there is a lot of money there. I spent $500 on a bunch of manuals, and this one sold for $30. We've already sold over probably $4,000 worth of manuals. I've lost count at this point, and we still keep selling them, so I'm very happy with that. This was $2 from one of my sources. He was having a garage sale, and it was an ASA Standard Pilot Master Log. I picked it up for $2 and sold it for $20. I did ship this media mail. I wasn't sure if it really could go media mail, but I did, so I apologize in advance if I wasn't supposed to. You guys might want to correct me. It's like just a log book. It's not, I don't think I was supposed to. I didn't think about it till I was taking the screenshot, but I ended up selling for $20. The person was happy with it, so that was good. Here's a Wii here. This one sold for 80 shipped. It was the black console, the RVL-001. 80 shipped on that. I think I had $15 in this or something like that. I've been parting them out this way where I sell them with the cords and the sensor, and then I sell the controllers and games all separate. So pretty good deal there. Wii's a very fun system to test too, because you can play Wii Sports or Mario Kart for a little bit. That's what I end up doing. Here's a couple of Venom CDs. Just great stuff. Welcome to Hell. I mean, just really great CDs here. When I got these, the person had a lot of like death metal and just, I guess if you're into it, it's totally cool, whatever you're into. But some of the titles, man, they're kind of scary. But these two sold for 20 shipped. They came in the My Pet Monster buy. A lot of CDs in there. But these two I saw that were the same artist, put them together, and they sold for 20 shipped. It didn't seem like there were a whole lot of listings, so I figured they probably sell pretty well, and got 20. One of my favorite new things to sell, aside from media, guys, and I've said this before, I love selling media. It's definitely of 2019 and 2020. My favorite type category to sell in now is media, aside from video games, because it's just so easy. And once you start seeing the value in some of these CDs and DVDs, it's really worth your time to do it, and it's so easy. But another thing that I've started to learn about is reel-to-reels. There are some great ones. This one right here, Artur Rubinstein's Rachmaninoff Concerto No. 2. Don't know anything about it, but I bought a bunch of reel-to-reels, paid $2 each at a thrift store. This one sold for 65 shipped on a best offer. Awesome for a used one. I sold one the other day for 50, one for 35, a couple for 20, one for 15, but you know, it's kind of how it works. You sell a bunch of them and people keep buying, and it just works out. So I can't really complain. Sorry, I gotta plug my phone in before it dies, guys. Bear with me. Okay, hopefully that worked out, so sorry for the interruption there. But either way, these reel-to-reels are awesome, guys, and it's definitely worth your time if you can find them. Not everyone's worth a bunch, but a lot of them are worth, you know, $20-$30, and I feel like that's worth it for a used item, and a lot of people might pass them up. Some Red Rose T figures. These are from Wade, which is a pretty good brand. I had a whole set of these, which I sold for, I think, $31, and this was not a complete set. It was a bunch of pieces, but it wasn't a full calendar set. It also had some random ones in there. I listed these for like 45 or best offer, took a best offer of 30. I spent $1 on these plus the other ones, so I sold over 60 bucks and stuff for only $1 investment at an estate sale. Another VHS, this is the Nightmare on Elm Street 2. This one sold for 18 shipped. I actually got this with the same other VHS that I got. We had spent 20 bucks on a bunch of VHS, DVDs, and CDs. and a lot of it was horror VHS, so I knew there was some money there. This guy sold for $18, which is, again, a good price for a used VHS. This is from the Rock and Roll Buy. Oddly enough, there was some Disney stuff in there. This is the Haunted Mansion Magic Kingdom book. This one sold for 12 ship. Nothing special, but easy sell. This is a WWE DVD. I paid $1.99 for this, I think at a thrift store. I was buying some other DVDs and I scanned it, and it just seemed like it was selling pretty well. A lot of the wrestling stuff can do well, but not all of it. Some of it's like $5 or $6. Undertaker's retiring. He's the wrestler in this DVD, so I figured it would sell, and it did. It sold for 12 shipped. Here are some Summer Wave pool filters. This was the last set that I had. You guys may remember from months ago, before summer hit, I was selling these two of these packs for like $30 because no one was moving them. Then all of a sudden summer hits and the price just skyrockets. I had got them last year in fall from a source, and I just wasn't on top of it. I missed the mark. I could have been getting $38 for each set of 3 instead of selling 2 sets of 3 for $30. I still made great money because I only spent like $70 on all the filters I had, plus all the pool covers, which also sold. It was a great deal, but I could have maximized it more. I just wasn't on top of it. So pay attention to what season you're in. Here's a New Era Kobe Bryant hat. This one I got for $10. I got it after he already passed away, but I ended up listing it. I knew there'd be someone who would come in and buy it. The person from Florida bought it. They offered $60, what I thought was fair. It was brand new, and I figured it was going to a good home. Probably someone who's just trying to rep some Kobe stuff, given he's passed away. And for $60, I was happy with that. Call of Duty Black Ops 2 Hardened edition. I guess this is some kind of special edition or whatever. It sold for $26.09 on sale. I got it from a big buy that I had. It did work and everything, and it was, I guess, as complete. It seemed to be complete, but it sold for $26.09. Another manual here. This one I think I actually paid $3 for at a garage sale. A little Volkswagen Rabbit and a Sirocco. I'm not sure. It sold for 15 shipped though on a best offer. It had been listed for a while. If I get a manual and it just seems like it's not moving quickly, unless I know it's something really rare and unique, I'll eventually take an offer to move it out of here as long as I can make some money. I don't have room for everything. Here's some Rydell Pocket Pro, the little 2-bar helmets. These are like those little ones you may have seen in the little coin machines, but these ones are different because they're just the 2-bar, the old style helmet bar, the face mask I should say. You can sell the other ones too if you have a complete set or whatever, but these are just little guys. I bought a bunch of them for I think $30 from one of my sources. The guy that I buy jerseys from, I used to, he's no longer, we don't do any business together. I guess he no longer gets inventory or whatever. Maybe he started his own eBay store, but I bought a bunch of these helmets from him, and I've sold each of them for at least $10. This one was the New York Giants, and it sold for 16 shipped. People like the 2-bar ones because they just have that old school vintage style. Here's a Hollow Scream candelabra. It's like a Halloween decoration. I paid $5 for it. I like selling Halloween stuff just because it seems like people really like to decorate Halloween, and the value of some of the props and stuff do well. This one I paid $5. I thought it would get more like $40. That's why I listed it that high. It just sat and sat and sat. Not the greatest picture. Didn't really crop it well enough. Maybe I should have taken one where you could see it lit up. That's probably what the smarter move was. But I still sold it for $34 shipped. It didn't weigh a whole lot. I want to say we shipped it out for about $14 or something like that. And we ended up making a little bit of money there. I did think we got good feedback. Here's one that I have to show. This is a return. This was a Brain Pops Culture. Of course, the littlest darn things are the ones that usually come back, it seems. I guess the good news is it was first class shipping. I do free returns. This sold for $7.79. You can see in the picture it says it worked. When I tested it out before it left, it worked. When it got there, I guess it didn't work. I got it back. Battery seemed to be okay. Still, it would power up and power off. So I'm not sure what happened in the process, but it's not working. So I just refunded the guy, just threw it away. I wasn't going to waste my time with it. This item did not come back, and it's a really good one. It's a Sony Handycam CCD TRV318. These Handycams still sell well. People are taking home movies and transferring them onto different media sources, or maybe just even watching old stuff. This one came from Storage Unit Guy, had a charger and everything, which was great. I know the band was falling apart, so I actually took it off, the part of the band that was all shredded to pieces and stuff, but this still sold for $140 shipped. So look out for those. We got Tear It Up. These are some workout DVDs sold for $11.04. Not much to them. Marine Vanguard, like little patch here. I've gotten these patches many times. Again, I'm in Southern California. There's a lot of military bases and different things around us. This one sold for $8.49. I don't think I paid anything for it. Here's a Bose CD player. I paid $4 for this from a thrift store. It did power up, but I didn't realize that there was a piece of tape holding the bottom battery in. It was like a little piece of electrical tape. So when I got there, it powered up and it was changing. I'm like, oh, cool, perfect. Bought it. Turns out that thing wouldn't close on its own. So I sold it for $19 as is. It probably would have got like 25, which is why I was going to buy it, and then we go first class. Still got 19 out of it. It went first class. We made some money, but was disappointed to see that wasn't closing right. Here's some paper. I paid, I think, $1 for this. There were 2 brand new sealed packs. They sold for 28 shipped. I think we shipped them pirate ship for like $12 or something like that. It was pretty cost effective and ended up making a few bucks on it. Not a ton, but I'm just a sucker for brand new in-box stuff. Here's a Lego City astronaut minifigure set. This is from the $1,600 buy. This one sold for $15.29 on sale. We actually had 2 of these. I think one sold for $18 full price a month ago, and then finally this one sold for $15.29. Another repair manual here. I don't remember if this is from the $500 buy, but it's a Toyota pickup one. It sold for $8.49 on sale. We got 2 Los Tigres cassettes here. These ones were from a different buy. It had a mostly Latin American and Hispanic, I guess, singing artist. It was cassettes and some 8-tracks and some CDs. These ones sold for 20 shipped on a best offer, so happy about that. The Crusaders 4-disc set. The problem was it didn't have the original cases, but it still sold for 15 shipped on. I sent an offer out to watchers. I just wanted to get this one out of my inventory because it's been there for a while, and it did sell for 15. History of the First Council of Nice, I guess it would be Nice. This one sold for 9 shipped. It was from an old book buy that I had. I'm a sucker for books, and like I told you guys, looked it up. It seemed to have some value, and it did. Here is a horrible listing, horrible photo, just not where I want to be. It's an old one. It's a Zegna tie. It ended up selling for $8 on a best offer. Just happy to move it out of here. This one was cool. It was a Wilson, like a splatter duffel bag, huge bag, great for like tennis or something like that, or maybe the gym, but it had that cool, like almost like Jackson Pollock looking paint splatter on it. This one sold for 35 shipped. I had paid $2 at an estate sale. 35 shipped, best offer, and the lady gave me great feedback. Well, I think it was a lady, but the feedback was great. Loved the way it looked, which was awesome. It definitely had some scuffs and stuff, but a really cool bag for sure. Pit Fighter for Genesis sold on sale for $6.79. This one did not sell as well because the label is trashed. We got Microsoft Office Student Teacher 2003. This one sold for $8.99. I always seem to sell this one, so I still pick it up if it's $1 or less. It sells for about 9 or 10 shipped. Not really a great sale, but it just always seems to sell. Some 20s, 30s, and 40s EMI music box sets. We were missing 2 discs. I think they were in the same set, but I still got 35 on a best offer on these, and I paid $10 or so for all of them. So it wasn't a great deal. I didn't realize I thought they were missing 1 disc, but they ended up missing 2, so not so great. Gun for PS2 sold for $8.49. We sold Star Wars, a droid figure from the $1,600 buy for $24.64 on sale. He originally was listed at $29. Some Salomon XA Pro shoes. These are size 7.5. These ones I thought would sell better. I had them at $45. Finally took a best offer of $30. I really wanted $35 as my lowest. I paid $10 for them. Thought they were going to do a lot better. They did not when I got back from a vacation I was on. But I'm happy to get rid of them. We still made some money. Something's not worth too much. At least get some money out of it and move on. Here's a bunch of a little pack of RC parts. I've sold a bunch of these little parts. They're I think I had 4 or 5 different packs. This one sold for 8 shipped. Here is a new 24 karat sheet music book, 24 karat gold. This one sold for 15 and it sold very quickly. So I was happy about that. A Magnavox VHS. This one sold for 50 shipped. No remote or anything. I paid $2 or $3 for this. I don't mind paying $2 or $3 to find, maybe up to $5 if there's no remote. But if there's no remote, I don't want to pay much more unless I know it's a really good unit. This one wasn't amazing. It was just a VHS, but tested it out. It worked. I threw in the RCA cable to make it look a little nicer, and it sold for 50 shipped. It sold overnight. 2 Utica featherweight Girl Scout knives. I paid, I think, $1.50 each for these. Thought they'd be worth some money on their own. It turned out it was better off lotting them up, at least I thought. And they sold on the best offer for 33 shipped. They still went first class. They were beat up. They really needed some work. Hopefully they went to a good home. My last set of VHS-C cassette tapes. These are sold for 28 shipped. It's 2 3-packs. I got all these from a discount store that I was at. We had $3 into each one. And then lastly, guys, sorry it's gone so long, a Nike Zoom Paul Rodriguez shoes. I've sold these before, I think for 50 shipped. The guy got them. They had a lot of staining on them, but they're the Nike Zoom, the Paul Rodriguez. People kind of collect them. It's that light blue, off blue color or whatever. They came back because they didn't fit. They're a size 9.5. Sold them again. Someone was buying them for their brother for their birthday, so I was even more concerned, like, oh, what if they don't fit this guy? I never heard back, though. I took the best offer of 45. Probably ended up making a few bucks because of the free return on the other one, but definitely happy. Hope they went to a good home. Hope it was for a birthday present, actually, so hopefully the guy, I wouldn't want a pair of those shoes for my birthday, but maybe people do, who knows. But happy about that, and like I said, hopefully the guy was happy. We haven't heard anything, and that wraps it up. I'm sorry we went over 20 minutes. I'm trying to keep them there, but I talked too much, I guess. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the content. If you have any questions, please let me know. It's now Friday night for me, so I got to get to bed so I can go garage sale tomorrow. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.